Hello again, I'm sorry if there's some background noise, but it is stinking hot over here in Australia and I desperately need the fans on. Anyway, I'm back again with another DC video with the usual 3-act structure, but this time with a different theme. Today we discuss the metaphorical Boy Scout and the challenges writers face in adapting this character, be it to the screen or the comics page. But first, I want to thank my wonderful patrons for making this episode possible. Now, on to the episode with point 1. First we have the Type 1 Superman, which is finger quotes the low-powered Superman. These iterations of Superman, regardless of characterization, often face a lot of blowback from fans or writers for being seen as weak or not living up to Superman's reputation. They take blows, their foes harm them, and they occasionally need to be assisted in battle, or even saved. The DC animated universe's Superman from the Justice League and Superman the Animated Series often gets hit with this accusation. Some defend Type 1 Supermans as just holding back or gauging their opponent's strength and durability to determine how hard they can be hit. I don't hate this logic in the broad strokes, but as I'll cover in point 2, I think it has a negative impact on the setting and cast. And with that setup, we move on to Type 2 Superman, the all-powerful Superman. The exact powers of a Type 2 are somewhat nebulous, but the broad stroke summaries I've seen listed, watched or read tend to go along these lines. This Superman can hear literally everything going on Earth at all times. He is functionally unstoppable. Even kryptonite sometimes isn't the major turnaround it often is seen as. Same for magic. He is able to see and understand everything, the entire universe and its delicate dance with no one to teach him. He is in essence godlike. Examples of Type 2 Superman can be seen in stuff like All-Star Superman or Superman and the Elite. Now, you can probably guess the blowback this version gets. He's too OP, he's too perfect, he makes all other heroes unnecessary, and he's a bad person for not addressing all crime on Earth at all times, which some think he can solve in minutes if he wanted to. I think the last one is a bit of an exaggeration, but I have seen takes like that, legitimately. So let's get to point 3 and figure out some solutions to 2 of the puzzle pieces that are in adapting Superman. First and foremost though, I want to make it clear both these versions of Clark are fine. They can both be executed really well and make for amazing stories, or be fumbled and mess everything up. In my view, the main issue mostly comes from people trying to have it all ways, be it the writers or some fans, because I'll be honest, while somewhat extreme, the Type 2 critics have a point. This variation of Superman frankly works best in isolation, in settings where there aren't other superheroes or even necessarily other Kryptonians. They tend to be the best means of exploring Clark's unique relationship to power and humanity, morality and strength, of his fear and his potential. Or in other words, the conflict between the man and the super. What Type 2 doesn't work well for is superhero team-ups or any storyline built on premises like, will Superman overcome this villain? Because by all rights, he should already know what their scheme is, how to carry them to jail, and be able to hear or stop stuff like, say, the Joker beating Jason Todd to death, or Luthor buying kryptonite, or, anyone escaping prison ever. Put simply, Type 2 works best in solo works that are more about dealing with Clark as a person and a hero, grappling with big ideas or extremely personal narratives. Type 1 on the other hand is a Superman who can be challenged, threatened, and even theoretically defeated. He is at most just the nominal strongest among many, and sometimes not even then. These are stories where it makes sense to call on aid or team up, where villains can surprise him because despite his super senses he's not functionally omnipresent and deadly weapons of the day could theoretically take him down. I'd like to clarify, you can still tell deep stories with this version. One of my favourite Clark quotes of all times is from the Superman Animated Series where he straight up says, "I'd go crazy if I had to be Superman all the time." I love that. It stresses just how much he is Clark Kent and not just Superman or Kal-El. It makes his civilian life so integral to his sense of personhood and self, and just his mental health in general. I just really like it, okay? Thus, you still get the potential for depth, for grappling with moral issues and the fears of his own power. It's just that with the added context of him not being so isolated by that power, you can also dip into other ideas. Like say his first experiences with pain, or exploring the interplay of his varied relationships with other heroes and the vigilante community as a whole. Put simply, Type 1 and Type 2 Clark Kents work great when executed well, but they need to be kept in separate types of stories and worlds, because at least to me, they can't mesh without robbing the stories of tension or depth, and will usually leave me feeling like the author is just having me on. And that's all for today. I hope you all enjoyed this video and the various series so far. If you would like to commission 3D artwork, give me a tip, or try to commission an episode, please hit up my Ko-fi, or if you want to get sneak previews of episodes and 3D art, offer direct lines of feedback and help fund more episodes consistently, please consider donating to my Patreon, links in the description. Thanks for stopping by!